Welcome to the Shore Show. Pat O'Melia here on GGR, the Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition, live from Seaside Heights, live from my garage. They got big events going on the boardwalk today, and there was talk of rain at 11 a.m., so I figured let me set up the radio show in the garage. I was on the boardwalk yesterday on the Franklin Street stage. Looks like the rain will hold off until about 5 or 6 o'clock, even if it ever comes. I'm looking at the sky here. It doesn't look like we got rain anytime soon, but when you're making a call on a live show, you go with what the weatherman says. And last night, the weatherman was telling me around 11 a.m. So, put the set together in the garage. I'm broadcasting now. I am now regretting that decision, but the decision has to be made. Especially since I'm working solo on these shows. I don't have any of my studio staff with me. It starts raining, the mixers, the computers, the microphones, all the stuff gets wet. And it's not the kind of stuff you want to get wet. So you make the decision and you live with it. And usually when we make decisions based on weather, whether we're shooting the videos outside with our video capabilities or we're doing the radio show, you don't want to get bit on the butt. Something's going to happen. Yeah, the report isn't right. For that matter, I think of all the years I've been filming, especially in Seaside Heights in 2009, filming and broadcasting down here, I think only once was the weather guy right. And again, looks like he's batting $9.99 here because it looks like the weather will be fine. You got a lot of events. When we come back from commercial break, we'll go over the events. But we got a fairly busy show. We got a lot of things we're going to talk about. Like I said, we're going to talk about the events down here. We like to talk about things in the news, talk about the governor's race with Citarelli and Sherrill, a little Mondani in New York City with Trump. Unfortunately, Davey Johnson, former manager of the New York Mets, the Miracle Mets. Well, no, he was 86. The Miracle Mets was 69. He passed on. Great manager, 82 years old. Now we're going to talk about Board of Education president admitting to bribery in Jersey City, where I'm from. And, we'll get into all the other stuff. Trump's talking about taking over the 9/11 Museum in New York City because of some really high salaries that the people at the museum are taking. We're going to talk about a renaissance going on here in Seaside Heights and all this and more. When we come back again, you're listening to the Shore Show Radio, Seaside Heights edition. I see people walking by with their beach equipment, ready to go onto the beach and enjoy the day. Again, if you're going on a beach, pay attention to the flags. Yesterday, the flags were all red. All right, we're going to break for commercial again. Seaside Heights, Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition, here on GGR. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll be right back.
Is here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
We're back. Pat O'Melia here, Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition, live in Seaside Heights, live from the garage. It is a nice day. It is 78 degrees right now. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, but they're saying there'll be rain around 6 p.m. You might have some thunderstorms. I would come down. You got a lot of events going on here today. Let me take a look at the air quality. I think the air quality is also excellent here today. I think that's going to be in the 30s. 39, something like that. Let me get it out here as soon as I find it. But it looks like another fine day here in Seaside Heights. Let's see what the air now on my app here. Air now, and in Seaside Heights is 53. That's moderate, so you're in good shape. So if you're in Jersey City, where I am from, I would get in that car right now and cruise on down the Turnpike to exit 11, take exit 11 to exit 82, then take exit 82 to Route 37, head east towards the ocean, and you will come into Seaside Heights. And if you leave now, you'll be here by noon. And like I said, there's a lot of activities going on here today in Seaside Heights. As we speak right now, there's a classic car show on Bay Boulevard and Grant from 9 to noon. No, 9 to 2 p.m. I might take a ride over for that. I'm into the classic cars. I always liked the old cars. They had quite a few over the years. Now I just have a lot of cars. But no, actually, one of my cars is a 1994 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra, like a time capsule, that car. So that's classic. It's 31 years old. That's classic. I look at it as an old car. But, people do point at it, give me the thumbs up. It's not like when I was driving around in my 64 Dodge, when people were like, oh, look at that. That's a real classic car there. But the Classic Car Show is free. Go down and check out all the vehicles there. What else you have else going on today here in Seaside Heights? You got Wine on the Beach. That starts at, let me get this up. Wine on the Beach today from noon to 5 p.m. There's also a concert involved, 70s Rock Parade, that was scheduled for 3 p.m. They moved it up to 1 p.m. They're worried about the rain, too. Again, these guys aren't right often anymore. And it's amazing, when I was a kid, you always had this guy like Tex Antoine, who was the old weatherman. The guy was right like all the time, as I recall. Now we have all this technology, satellites and computers, and we can't get the weather right. But I would come on down, get in the car, ride down to Seaside Heights. You can, catch the concert. You can listen to it if you don't want to go on the beach. The concert is on the beach. There is a ticket for the wine tasting. For that matter, I think the wine tasting might even be sold out. It's like wines from all over the world. It's a regular event here in Seaside Heights. So take a ride down. The boardwalk's completely open. And this is really, in my opinion, the best time of year to come to Seaside Heights. Before the kids bought a house down here, and we Airbnb the first floor, and the family utilizes the second floor, two-family home. We used to come down here at the end of August into September. Kids are back in school. It's less crowded. Everything's open. All the same food is here, just that less people, less lines. So it is really the ideal time to come down. Not only we have that today, you got the 70s, you got the classic car. Sunday, again, you come down, stay over. You can, the lodging is all available. I think the motels are like $80 a night, so you could stay over if you want. On Sunday, you got Grandparents Day VIP parties at Lucky Leo's, one of my favorite stands. Great guy, Lucky Leo. We lost him about 3 years ago. He lived a long, successful life. The guy actually seen the Hindenburg disaster as a kid. His father was auto mechanic at a gas station, and Lucky was sitting outside, drinking a soda pop, doing something, and here comes the Hindenburg, and watching the Hindenburg, and I look at this big blimp, blah, 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 boom. Oh, the humanity, the humanity of it all. So he got to witness all that. But at the Lucky Leo's, they got the Grandparents' Day VIP from 10 to 3 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday. And they also got the characters. They got the artists there. They'll draw pictures of your grandparents and all. The Casino Pier is also into Grandparents' Day tomorrow. They have a free Ferris wheel ride from noon to 3 p.m. There's always something going on at Seaside Heights. And, if you're a fisherman or a crabber, time of the year to come down. You got Sunset Beach. You can do your fishing and crabbing over there. And again, the crowds are gone. A lot of room on Sunset Beach. A lot of room on the beach here in Seaside Heights. A lot of room on the boardwalk. it is the ideal time to be down here. So come on down. And also, you got the big parade, which we're starting to gear up to now. You got the Columbus Day parades coming up next month. With that is also the Columbus Festival. And it goes on from Friday night before Columbus Day. It starts on Grant Avenue, right at the boardwalk, and it goes all the way down to Central Avenue. These are pretty long blocks here in Seaside Heights. It is probably one of the best Italian festivals you're going to have in New Jersey. Yeah, it goes on from Friday right into Sunday, and they culminates with the Ocean County Parade, which they really go into a lot of planning. They plan this parade for a year. They got dances from Italy. They got bands from all over the state, marches, fire. The regular parade groups that normally get in there. Cheerleaders, fire department, the police, military, all that's there. And after the parade, you go back over to the festival for a little while, get some more food. And the festival has, did I say food? Yes, it has a lot of food. It has the Italian food, of course. It has the kettle corn. It has the sausage and peppers. It has the pepper steaks. You have all that food. A lot of retail stuff. You can get souvenirs and T-shirts and all that. Also, the boardwalk is open. So you can go up to Lucky Leo's. You go to the Coin Castle. You go to Beachcomber. You can go to JR's. You can go to Maruca's. You can go to the Aztec. You go to Marathon. You can go, there's actually a Mr. Softy stand on the boardwalk in Seaside Heights. You can go up to Polish Ice. Everything is open on the boardwalk, and it will be open during Columbus Day. Ideal time to come down to Seaside Heights. Again, the lodging will be all available. You can stay at the Aztec or any of the other motels down here. For that matter, my kids have a 3-day stay minimum for Columbus Day here later on. Well, let me get to that. I'll get to that now. Might as well get the do a little promotion for my children here. Got it on my phone. You go to Airbnb, and you put in 414-53636, 414-53636, and the kids' apartment will show up, and you can rent that for the 3 days during the Columbus Day holiday. Yeah, you're like a block away from where the festival is. Again, like I say, the people who stay here in Seaside for the vacation in Seaside Heights, you're close enough to enjoy the boardwalk, yet far enough not to live it. And with the festival, you're only a few blocks away from Grant Avenue. We're here on Hamilton, so you can easily just walk over there, or you could drive over, whatever you want to do. Parking will be a little bit of a premium, but that's a well-attended festival. Let me get back to my notes here. So that's your plans. You got the car show today going on as we speak. You got the wine tasting on the boardwalk. There'll also be a concert on the beach. Well, the wine tasting's on the beach along with the concert. If you can't get tickets for the wine tasting, not a problem. There's a lot of alcoholic beverages you can enjoy on the boardwalk, but you can still listen to all the music from the 70s rock parade. So I would get in there. Get in your car, take a ride down. Like I said, if you leave Jersey City now, the traffic was fine coming down this morning. You can get here. If you speed a little bit, hour 15 minutes. If you obey the speed limits, hour and a half. But you're here, beautiful day so far. And you know what? I'm really thinking it is going to be a beautiful day. I plan on going to dinner tonight while I'm down here. We'll go to Fortune Buffet. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet on Route 37 in Toms River. About 8 miles from Seaside Heights, right on Route 37. Everything's on Route 37. It's like the Appalachian Trail down here. You go on Route 37 west to St. Catherine Boulevard. You take the jug handle there, cross over Route 37, make the first right into the driveway. There's a big cinema there. Marquee Cinemas, a nice theater too. Right at the anchor of that whole strip mall is Fortune Buffet. All you can eat for $16. I'm not kidding you, and it's all good. You got like 8 to 10 buffet tables there. It's everything from salad to sushi to hibachi to ice cream and everything in between. Sauce, you got kibasi. Why do they have kibasi at this place? And they're known for it also, the kibasi. You got broccoli, chicken and broccoli, pepper steak, all these Chinese staples, and all the American stuff. You got kids with you. They got pizza and French fries. Chicken nuggets. You're into seafood? Lots of seafood there at Fortune Buffet. From crab legs to shrimp, a lot of shrimp. Yeah, you got the soups. Yeah, it's amazing, and it's $16 all you can eat. And it's $3. Like you get a soda, you pay $3 for the soda, and then after that, all your sodas are free. You can swim in soda after that. You know, you're out of there for like $19 a person. And again, it is everything from salad to desserts to ice cream to sushi to the hibachi, all the buffets, and it food's all fresh. It is well prepared. We've been going there. I guess about 2-3 years now. I definitely when I'm at Seaside Heights, if we're here on the weekend, we go. Normally we like to go on Sunday, but the NFL is starting, so we want to watch the games. So we'll make sure we do it on Saturday. But again, you want to stretch your budget? Fortune Buffet can stretch your budget. I wish we had something like that in Jersey City. We got Tokyo Hibachi, but they're like $26 a dinner. You don't have the same selection of food as you have at Fortune Buffet. It's good, Tokyo Hibachi. But, you know, Fortune Buffet has like 10 times the selection of food. But, you know, there's a lot of ways you can stretch your dollar here in Seaside Heights and in Toms River. Like I said, on Route 37, everything's out there. Yeah, all your McDonald's, your Burger Kings, your White Castles out there, or the Beige Castle. For some reason, they painted that one beige. You got your diner, your Toms River Diner. You got the bandwagon. Well, I'll be talking about the bandwagon later. I touched base on it a little bit yesterday as we were leaving. We had a technical glitch with some audio yesterday. On Fisher Boulevard, you got the Four Seasons. It's all sorts of places to eat. If you're coming down, say you're coming down for Columbus Day, and you don't want to eat constantly at the festival, you stop at Stop and Shop. Don't buy any meat there because they have an issue there, but the other stuff should be okay. You got ShopRite, you got Aldi's, you got Walmart on Route 37. Everything's on Route 37. All tourism in Seaside Heights, but there is a renaissance going on that we'll get into later in the show going on here in Seaside Heights. But you can stretch your budget here if you want to come down for the weekend. You want to come down for 3 days, Columbus Day. Well, if you still have vacation time, come down in September. Ideal time to be here in Seaside Heights. Like I said, the weather is fine. You're at 78 degrees. It'll go up to 80. According to the app here, they're predicting rain around 6 p.m. Even if it rains, what you can do is go to Fortune Buffet. Go down around 37, go to Fortune Buffet, or you can go to movies. There's a big cinema there. Yeah, go on your Fandango app, get your seats, check your seats, go watch a movie, then go over to Fortune Buffet. They have your nice, reasonably priced dinner. I don't want to use the word cheap. I'll go with reasonably priced, but it is very inexpensive there. There's a yo factor frozen yogurt we tried for the first time last week. That was kind of pricey. You got two Sundays frozen yogurt. Paid like $17 for the two. I thought that was pricey. But you go to Fortune Buffet, they got a whole ice cream section there where you can get all the ice cream you want and sherbet. So you're in good shape there. Let me take a break from discussing all that. We got the election for governor coming up with Mikey Sherrill, the helicopter lady. But she's really playing up the helicopters again. The latest commercial she put out, she's in a helicopter flying over New Jersey, I assume, drinking some Propel water. I get it free with my Gatorade. Buy 3 Gatorades, you get an 8 or a 10 pack of Propel water for free. You got Mikey Sherrill running against Jack Citarelli, the Republican. Jack just had the commercial out where he's in a diner. Right now, the spread between the two is with the poll is Jack is down 7 points to Mikey, but that's a hell of a accomplishment for Jack Citarelli. He was down 22 points. I guess about a month or so ago. So he's got the lead down substantially. He got about 2 months to go. What you need to do, first off, like I said many times, don't go in and just go Republican, Democrat. Look at the candidates. Look at what they're saying they're going to do, and hopefully they do it if they're elected. I'm interested in making New Jersey affordable and safer. Get the economy here in New Jersey humming. Get the expense down. One of the biggest things, we're getting crushed with the electric bills right now. And you're getting hit again next year, right at the beginning of another 5%. Ideology here in New Jersey, I blame this on Governor Murphy. We went all in on the wind farms and the solar. Hey, guess what? It didn't work. And that technology may never work as it being a reliable main source of energy. It could contribute, but I don't think it's ever going to be a main source of energy here. not only did we go in on the wind and solar, and the wind didn't work out at all, by the way, we closed 6 generating plants in New Jersey, electric generating plants. We stopped 2 that I know of from coming online, one in Kearney and one in North Bergen. So here we are. Everything you touch now is electric. Your cars are electric. Everything in your house is electric. You just think back 20 years ago, what was electric and what is now, and it's amazing. Everything is either running on electric or we're going to charge it up. We have a huge need for electricity, and here we are closing generating plants and stopping others from coming online and going in on wind farms. So now we got to go in the marketplace and buy energy. Not a good move. And they can point, Trenton can point their fingers all they want. They're the reason. Had we not closed 6 energy generating plants, we wouldn't be in this situation. Had we not stopped 2 from opening, we wouldn't be in this situation. If we had not gone all in millions and millions and millions of your dollars in wind farms that didn't work out, we wouldn't be in this situation. So that's something you got to study. I don't know if Mikey Sherrill is going to stay the course with Murphy's doing with the ideology of renewable energies. Listen, I'm not against renewable energies. I just don't think it's going to be the main contributor to our needs. You know, my kids down here, they got solar lights. They got 140 solar lights on the property here. And they're all nice. It works good as long as you got sun. No sun, you got no solar out there. Those lights aren't coming on. Same thing with the wind. And the wind ain't blowing, there ain't no generating coming on. I think Donald Trump said something a while. Donald Trump said, you know, is the wind blowing? I want to watch TV. You know, that's really pointed. And when they blowing, you got no electricity. And so the wind, you know, windmills, I've never seen any that actually work. There's one in Bayonne, I don't think it ever turned. They're high maintenance. There's a lot of petroleum products involved. There's concerns. I know we were killing whales. It's 100% proven that the death of the whales were contributed to the wind farm construction. But it's certainly, you can connect the dots there. That's not where we are. More people going down to the beach, taking their beach equipment down there. It's a nice day. Got a nice breeze, too. You know, the humidity is a bit much here today. But it's a nice day. You got that breeze that's offsetting it. But you got to get back to the election for governor. You got to sit back and figure out the candidates. What are they proposing to do, and how are they doing it? Don't just give me, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to put a stop to increases in the electric rates. Well, you can't because they're private entities. You can't mandate the private business on what they're going to charge. You can't turn around to PS&G and say, you can't raise your rates anymore. You can just go broke. That's not going to happen. And the problem is blaming PS&G or JCP&L, who you can blame a lot of things on JCP&L. They are awful. They are the New Jersey Transit of energy providers. If Tom's River, Dan Roderick, I think he is suing JCP&L. They have power outages. I'm in the REIT community down here because we got the Ring cameras in Seaside Heights, and I have them in my studio. So every time there's a power failure in Tom's River, it's on the Ring community. And it's like almost I'm not kidding you, it's almost daily in Tom's River. And that's JCP&L. Dan Roderick, the mayor of Tom's River, should kick JCP&L out. Do whatever he can, and municipalities have done this. We've gotten rid of poor energy suppliers and brought in PS&G. Bring them in. It'll save, first of all, it'll save the people money. But without doing anything with JCP&L, I think it still charges like $60 a month just in fees. I like the delivery fee on gas. Even PS&G does this. Right now, I'm not using gas in the studio. I open my PS&G bill for the gas, and there's a delivery charge for gas. I have used none, but I'm paying a delivery charge. It's all these little fees that Trenton gets a cut of, and they agree to this, and that's how they keep digging into your pocket. They didn't raise your taxes. They just raised your rates. And what you need to do is study the 2 candidates and figure out which one do you believe is going to do the best job for you. Again, don't go in there mindlessly and just throw the levers or press the buttons as it is now. Make an educated vote. If you're happy with how New Jersey is running, send all these people back. When I say these people, many of these people I know and have friendships with, I don't know if I would send them back. I think we may want to have a bit of change, new blood in Trenton, because it hasn't been running well. Yeah, we got to look at the school funding here in New Jersey. That's the biggest part of your property taxes. In some of these municipalities, it's 80% of the property tax bill. We got to look at that. How are you going to solve that? And just don't tell me you're going to solve it. Tell me how you're going to solve it. I can give you some ideas, give you some advice. First off, I don't need 565 school districts. I got more school districts than municipalities. I got 21 counties. We can get by with 21 school districts. Now, each one of these school districts have payrolls, they have benefits, they have pensions, they have all sorts of tax-funded liabilities that got to be paid. We have a tremendous redundancy in the school districts. Get rid of them. We don't need 565. We need to look at the financing of these schools. I have a problem with Jersey City, my hometown. It's like $36,000 or so to educate a student. And in Toms River, which also has a good school system, who is struggling because of school funding right now, is like $18,000 a student. How is that possible? Now, the teachers' salaries are all about the same. The first thing I would do, I would take the teacher salaries right off the table. That is non-negotiable, not going to happen. We're not going to touch that. And turn around and look at every other nickel that's being spent on the schools. You know, I'll probably get into it. We just had a former president of the Jersey City Board of Education admit that he was being bribed. He was taking bribes to create a job for an attorney. And this probably happened. And that's what we caught, this $35,000. It's probably more. That was all funded. All these things these schools do are paid for by you. So right off the bat, I take the teacher salaries off the table. Not going to touch them at all. And I want to look at every other nickel. Yeah, it's not like the school districts pay. Public schools, they don't pay property tax. They don't pay rent. That's a big nut off the table there. My old grammar school, PS 23. It's Gandhi Elementary now, PS 23. It's like $58 million a year to run that. That's impossible. You got a lot of students in there, but it's impossible it could be that much money. All that has to be looked at. There shouldn't be a different cost of education, whether from Jersey City to Cape May or to Jersey City to Toms River. That's like 60-mile difference. It shouldn't be 100% more expensive in Jersey City. There's a problem. And the school funding to the municipalities and the districts needs to be looked at. You got a friend of mine, Brian Stack. He's the mayor of Union City. He's also a state senator. Union City receives more in school funding than Jersey City. Jersey City is like 10 times the size of Union City. Union City gets more in school funding than Jersey City. Jersey City has like 34,000 students. How is that possible? Then you look at communities like Secaucus and North Bergen, who don't receive any of that kind of funding from New Jersey. They're not Abbott District. They fund their schools completely by the property taxes. They build the school. They have to do it. The state doesn't build it for them in Secaucus and North Bergen. But I met in North Bergen just opened a new junior high. They paid for it. They bonded for it. They paid for it. State didn't come in and build. No, it didn't happen. Now they do in Union City where they build the schools for the municipality. There's a problem there. All the schools have to be on even footing. They all have to be on a level table. Yeah, you can't have North Bergen and Secaucus. This is where I'm from, North Jersey. I want a completely different set of school funding than Union City. And Hoboken. Hoboken is an Abbott District. Hoboken. Most expensive property in the state, the highest rents in the state, they're an Abbott District. How is it possible? But that's how the lunacy of how the funding is done here. That has to be changed. That's something Mikey Sherrill and Jack Citarelli is going to have to explain. How are you going to change that? And you can't say, we're going to study the problem. You got to make moves on this now, because this is an incredible expense on your property taxes school budget. And it is and it makes absolutely no sense on how we're funding these schools. Like I said, how the hell does Union City get more than Jersey City? That boggles the mind. Yeah, it must be something political in play there. Maybe Brian is a mayor and a state senator. I'm not sure. But there's something wrong with that. Then you have Toms River that was going to go bankrupt because of the funding situation. The state wouldn't let them do that. Now they're trying to sell properties. Yeah, you got the same thing in Jackson. They're selling schools and properties there. That's not how you're going to balance your school budget. Well, one-shot gimmicks here to plug a hole. That day one, the school budget, school funding has to be addressed. And I don't know if you can trust the people we have in Trenton now to do that, but they haven't done it. Yeah, there's not going to be no epiphany on November the 6th, like, well, I see what I need to do now. You've seen it. You've heard the educators. You've heard the superintendent. You heard the principals. You heard students. And nothing has been done. So that's the kind of things we got to look at when we're looking at the candidates here. Crime in Jersey, we're not too bad. Mayor Phillips done a great job in Jersey City, where I'm from. We still have some crime. There was just a shooting. Somebody was shooting at police cars yesterday. Unfortunately, that individual was taken down by the Jersey City police. For the most part, we're not like we were years ago, but it's still crime. We need to be safer. I'm at Seaside Heights here. We had a problem on Memorial Day. Yeah, they were wilding on the boardwalk here. They had to make some adjustments to the laws. We need to make laws that hold people accountable. We need to have, and the bail reform doesn't work out. That's not working. And I'm amazed at some of the arguments. Well, some of these people who commit the crimes don't have the funds to get bail. Well, you shouldn't do the crime then. It was that, it was that Beretta, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. If you can't afford bail, I probably wouldn't be stealing anything then. But that's the whole thing of bail reform. Not everybody can afford the postal bill. They don't have the money. Well, they shouldn't be doing a crime. That's the problem. That has to change, where these people are just getting a slap on the wrist. Like the thing with Trump, what he's doing in D.C. and he's offering other towns. I'm surprised. I had to talk to Philip later on today. We have some issues we need to go over. One of the things I would actually, but would you turn that offer down? If he's offering the military and National Guard, right now, fortunately, we don't have boots on the ground anywhere on the globe fighting any war. So we can utilize our trained personnel to help combat crime in the streets here of New Jersey. I would jump on that offer. You're going to give me free law enforcement? I don't have to pay for it? Put it in. What are we talking about here? It seems incredible that anybody would turn this down. But I've seen this guy, the mayor of Chicago. What an idiot. Oh, my God. And they're saying this guy's what would be Mondani in New York would be. New York City, you're in for a long road. Yeah, you get this Mandani guy, you got a real problem. And then my problem is, whatever happens in New York City usually floats across the Hudson into Jersey City. So hopefully that's not an issue here, that whatever happens in Montana, it looks like the guy's going to win. Even though the reports that Trump was getting involved and he was talking about Eric Adams and Sleewer dropping out. Eric Adams had just said emphatically he's not dropping out. And Curtis Sleewer, who I have a history with, he said he's not dropping. It doesn't make sense anyway. He's a Republican candidate here. It's a heavy Democratic city, New York City. It's the Democrats that'll win the vote there. Maybe an independent or Bloomberg back in the day, but it's not going to be Eric Adams. Things just went south for Eric Adams. So it's unfortunate. Things just went sideways there. They were talking about getting everybody out of the race, so it's Cuomo versus Bandani. I'm not sure Cuomo was such a good alternative and choice there either, but that was some of the things they were talking about. All right, listen, we're going to break for commercial. You're listening to The Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition here on GGR. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Anna Pinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
All right, I'm back. Pat O'Melia here. Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition here on GGR. Download the GGR app. If you're listening, obviously you have. But if you know somebody who hasn't, tell them, hey, download the app. You got a lot on the app besides me and my programs. For that matter, we got a kid working in the studio now. He's joining and he's volunteering there. Interning, whatever you want to call that. He's going to head up our radio division. We're bringing across our medical show. I was just talking to Dr. Lazo, be a radio call-in show. English and Spanish. We got to figure out how we're going to do that. So if you have any questions on treatments or you want a little consultation over the radio, we can do that. My high school kids, I'm probably going to be in North Bergen High School next week or two. Be addressing the juniors to join our studio program. What I'm doing, I'm teaching high school juniors and seniors and college kids. I think NJCU is coming in. Hudson County Community College, I believe, is joining us this season. And Hoboken High School, I believe, is joining us. And we're teaching studio production, video, from camera framing to positioning, to lighting, to audio, to editing, to graphics, to live broadcast, whether in the studio or on the road. I'm looking at the control van that we just put a radio in, Star Trek radio here. I like simple radios. I should have expressed that to Auto Elegance here in Seaside in Tom's River. After the show, I got to sit down and play with the radio, get that all set up. You got to have a radio in the van for the kids. But our control van, we'll have it set up that these kids can go out and do school events or groundbreakings, whatever we're covering, with the van, video or radio-wise. It will be capable of complete broadcast. And the idea is you give me 2 years with these kids, they'll have enough training. Well, first off, they could possibly get a scholarship. We had quite a few scholarships this year for the kids in the program. Or they can get employment. You know, they'll be capable of editing. They'll be able to do the graphics. They'll be able to do voiceovers. They'll be able to do filtering, all the editing aspects of it. When I talked about camera framing and positioning is super important. It's amazing. Some people just can't. Some people just aren't good with a camera, and there's a knack you got to have to that. The kids get all the time behind the camera, and I push them in front as much as possible. Like I tell these kids, there's a few jobs in front of a camera or in front of a mic. There are a lot of jobs behind that camera and mic, and that's what we're training for. So hopefully these kids continue their education with scholarships so they don't go broke with school loans, or they can get a job in the field. And we've developed relationships with like Cindelise in Jersey City. It's a major motion picture studio. We're going to develop a relationship with Netflix through Vin Copelli, the state senator out of Monmouth County. I know Vinny for a while. 1888 Studios in Bayonne. We're going to develop a relationship there with through Ray Graves with the city of Bayonne. And hopefully my kids, my students, where their experience in the studio intersects with the opening of those major studios. Yeah, Netflix probably a couple of years away. Same thing with 1888 Studios. Maybe 1888 is a little closer. And you got Lionsgate in Newark that's going to be opening a studio. So within the next year or two, there'll be opportunities. Hopefully, we'll intersect. If my kids don't go to college, my students don't go to college, they can get jobs at these studios. And you got the studios in New York. You got a lot of freelancing. Some of the kids want to be in journalism. Print is pretty much dead. So if you're going to be in journalism, you're going to have to write the story. You're going to have to film the footage. You're going to have to take the stills and put that story all together yourself now. So that's the kind of things these kids are learning. So that is what we're doing in my studio, teaching the kids, and hopefully, we affect their future, their lives, and they can get a good foothold in the motion picture business. If not, there's There's other things you can do with the experiences that we're teaching. Now, right now, the weather here in Seaside Heights is now 80 degrees. I'm looking at the sky. I don't know. I don't think it's going to rain. Got a little bit of a breeze. So hopefully there's no effect on the wine tasting. I don't think it is. I see casino pier personnel walking down the street here going to work. So hopefully we'll have no issue here today. Well, like I said, they're talking like 6 o'clock. If it rains, come on down, enjoy the boardwalk. If it starts raining, go to Marquee Cinemas. You can catch a movie. Go over to Fortune Buffet, have a very inexpensive, excellent meal, and then make a decision. Hopefully the rain's over. You go back on the boardwalk for a while, or you can go back to your room, or you just go back to Jersey City or Point South, wherever you came from. But the weather is fine. The air quality is good. We're moderate, so we're in good shape there. And we were talking before the commercial break about the governor's race. Make an informed vote. Don't just go in there, I'm a Democrat, I'm going to vote Democrat. Republican, or Republican. I'm more of a mercenary. I'm going to vote for who I think is the best possible candidate. In presidential, I voted for Reagan. I voted for Clinton. I know Bill Clinton, you've seen him carrying a defibrillator about a week or so ago. Hopefully Bill Clinton's health is okay, and he just happened to be bringing the defibrillator to a friend of his, maybe. I think Bill Clinton, he has some history there in the White House. Wild Billy there. But he's probably the best president of our lifetime. He had the economy going well. The debt was down. Reagan did a good job. Bush held the seat, Obama, kind of held the seat. Biden was awful. I mean, God awful. I didn't know you'd be that. Now, I'm happy Jimmy Carter lived long enough to see that he was no longer the worst president in my lifetime. Biden supplanted him. There'll be no president as bad as Biden. This country went the wrong direction. Hopefully, Trump, I know some people love Trump, some people hate Trump, some are indifferent. I'm willing to give the guy time. I know his first time around I had money. The economy was good. Hopefully I'll have money again instead of living hand to mouth, especially now with the school programs. We could use a little more money. I'm willing to ride with the guy. Like I said, I'll ride with the guy with a year, and let's look back and see what he's accomplished in the year, see where the economy is, if the arrows are pointing in the right direction. But, that seagull I'm looking out there could have done a better job than Biden. And I don't want to blame Biden because, he was obviously had some mental issues there. Age got to him pretty quick. Remember, I was hiding in the basement during the elections. Now, he was having an issue and still has issues. But, that was a tough 4 years. So getting back to the governor's race, make an informed vote. Look at the candidate. Not just, remember, they got all the assembly seats are up also. Look at these candidates. All politics are local. Look at your local assembly people. Are these the people you want to send back to Trenton? Think about that. I don't care if they're Democrat or Republican. I want to send the best person down there to Trenton. I want the best person in the governor's mansion. Look at what they're saying. Listen to how they're going to do it. Not just what they're saying, how they're going to accomplish that. I want to know. Hopefully I can get some interviews with Mikey Sherrill and Jack Citarelli. I will ask some pointed questions on how you are going to do it. Here's the problem. You give me the solution. And don't disco dance on me, buddy. I want to know how you're going to do that. So that's what we need to keep on looking at. We got 60 days for I think it's about 60 days before the election on November 4th. Mondani. Now, there was talk about Trump getting involved in the New York election, asking Eric Adams and Sliwa to drop out of the race, so it would just be Cuomo versus Mondani. And I don't see Sliwa dropping out because he's kind of like the head of the Republican ticket there. You got a lot of down ticket. So to see Sliwa drop out, I doubt it. Plus, I doubt if there any offers were made because Curtis Sliwa would have certainly said it. He would say, yes, well, the White House contacted me or Trump contacted me and offered me a job. But you know me, I'm a guardian angel, and I'm only going to do the right thing. I'm going to stay in the race, and I'm going to win this race. Yet, Curtis, you're a man of your word. I'm still waiting for you to come back to Jersey City. He was supposed to set up the guardian angels in Jersey City, I guess about 12 some odd years ago, something like that. For that matter, on a television show. It's on YouTube. You can see the show there. But I'm at who is now the mayor of Jersey City. Steve Fulop was my guest on that very show with Curtis Lewer, where I told Curtis it ain't going to happen in Jersey City, organizing the Guardian Angels. And Curtis said he would. So I said, listen, we'll come back again in 6 months. So I can tell you so. I tell you so. And sure enough, 6 months didn't take place in Jersey. It's just not who we are in Jersey City. And Sleeper wouldn't come back. He said he would. I texted him, called him. He wouldn't even answer my phone calls. So he's not much of a man of his word. But believe me, if he could make some kind of news saying that Donald Trump at the White House called him, he would have done it. Eric Adams, I think Eric Adams tried to do a good job. It's a funny thing in his first term as mayors, you bring the people that helped get you elected to City Hall, and some of those people shouldn't be at City Hall. We've seen it in Jersey City a few times. But I'm with Mayor Fulop. Not a lot of people around Mayor Fulop from when he first became mayor. Actually, there's only a few of us who are still on good terms with him. Fulop had to weed out a lot of the people he came in with, but you bring your soldiers, the people that help you get elected. And then you get to see him on a daily basis working, and you're like, I shouldn't have done this. And you have to weed these people out. But I don't think Eric is going to get a chance to weed them out in the second term. Fulop did, and he made the necessary adjustments. He got rid of a lot of people. A lot of people had to go. But, he kept his word. He got him to City Hall with him. And then he seen what they were doing and said, well, I can't have you. You have to go. And off they went. The idea here is trying to get these people, Sleewer and Adams, out of the race. So it'd be a one-on-one between Cuomo and Mandani, like it was in the primary. The difference between a primary and a general election is people actually vote in the general. Well, I shouldn't say more than the primary. Substantially more, yes, but not a ridiculous amount. In New York City, they got the ranked choice voting. We don't have it here in Jersey. I don't think I'm interested in ranked choice voting. But the primaries are normally a low voter turnout. You have substantially more turnout in general elections, but we don't do that anymore. Elections, you don't see there was an 80% voter turnout. That's not happening. Jersey City, we come up with 14-16%. Jersey itself is terrible. With voter turnout, New York is probably better, but the idea is Mandani won the primary because of low voter turnout because it's primary. Nobody comes out for that. The thinking is in a general election where there's more people out, but not like it used to be in the 60s. Where people actually cared, because you had to go on election day and vote. There's so many ways to vote now. Maybe that's why nobody votes. We got too many friggin' options now. The idea is that a head-to-head Cuomo versus Mandani, Cuomo would beat him. I don't know about that. I don't know if Cuomo is the best option to Mandani. I know Mandani will be a nightmare for New York City. I'm not sure Cuomo is an answer. I guess Cuomo is more, you know what you're getting there. It's the devil you know. Versus the devil you don't, but you really get to know Mandani there. There's a lot of interesting things to Mandani. I'm not sure he would be the ideal person to run the city of New York City, but we'll see how that goes. For that matter, Mandani challenged Trump to a debate, and Mandani should just debate Cuomo and the rest of these guys. Don't worry about Trump. I love that everybody wants to take on Trump. We got in Jersey City, we got people running for the mayor of Jersey City. Oh, fight Donald Trump. You're not even going to get to speak to Donald Trump. You're the mayor of a mid-sized city. Yeah, the mayor of New York City will probably talk to Trump. People fighting Trump. Same with Mikey Sherrill. I'm going to fight Trump. I'll fight Trump every day. You want to fight Trump? You're already in D.C. now. A lot easier to fight him in D.C. than it is from Trenton. The campaign never ends. If you got a problem with Trump, like I said, let's write it out for a year and see what happens here. But every day, if Trump says the sky is blue, and no, the Democrats will say the sky is purple, green, or something like that. The guy was elected on a mandate and on his campaign. From what I can see, he's trying to do it. Do I agree with everything he's doing? No. Like the vaccines, I feel bad for Robert Kennedy, that ailment he had with his throat. I was watching some of the Senate hearings with Robert Kennedy Jr., and he was really struggling there for a while. But he would actually handle himself quite well with those senators. The CDC hasn't done us any favors, especially coming out of COVID. Somewhere along, we need like a 9/11 commission to investigate COVID. What happened there? What happened with the vaccines? What happened with the protocols? What happened with the mandates we put in? Every step that was taken needs to be analyzed. Hopefully, we never have another pandemic. Or even, was the pandemic as bad? Was it really a bad flu? But for some reason, we're not there. The pharmaceutical companies aren't releasing that info. That needs to be. Don't worry about Epstein. Hell with Epstein's fault is. Now, I got a problem with Epstein. They had a bunch of women that were victims of Epstein. And they're talking, saying they were 14, 15 years old. Where the hell were the parents when this was going on? How are these 14, 15-year-old, 16-year-old kids getting onto the island? How are they getting on this guy's plane? Where the F are the parents? Nobody's ever brought that up. Everybody's hoping, nobody's going to be happy with whatever comes out of the Epstein folders or their list. I don't even know if there is a list. Now, it looks like Trump severed ties with this guy in 2005. But even if he didn't, where I grew up in Jersey City, we have some friends that done some things that, aren't exactly law-abiding. Don't give me guilt by association. Same thing with Trump. Same thing with Bill Gates. You've heard all these rumors. I don't know if any of it's true about some of the names that were involved with Epstein and these girls. If it comes out, I assume everything's come out. People were paid. People went to jail. I assume all this is out. I know they just released a bunch of information to the Congress concerning what they had on Epstein. I don't know if there's any list, but somebody should ask the question where the parents were. Nobody's ever asked that question. Where were the parents in all this? How are these underage girls getting over there? How are they getting involved with Epstein? How are they getting on a plane? How is she getting on a plane? How is she getting on the island? How are these kids getting in his mansion? Nobody's answered that. Where are the parents on this? Why aren't the parents brought up on HR? There's more people going to the beach, at their beach stuff, equipment, dragging. Yeah, some of these people really come equipped too. They got a little pull wagon behind them. Got their beach chairs in there. Got their coolers. They got a plan. They got a strategy. But getting back to Robert Kennedy, I thought the best line was these people who are attacking Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy was like, hey, you all have my cell phone. I haven't heard from any of you in 7 months since I had the job. Now you're here attacking me. You're calling me a charlatan and a liar. Robert Kennedy isn't a vaccine person. Obviously, we all know that. I'm not 100% sure we should do away with vaccine mandates. Maybe we don't mandate the COVID. I could see dropping that one because we didn't do a lot of R&D on that. Somewhere along the line, you'll see a commercial. Morgan & Morgan will be doing a class action lawsuit against Pfizer. But if I'm not mistaken, Pfizer, through the Biden administration, got waivers that they can't be sued for anything with the COVID vaccines or all the pharmaceutical companies. So, but I'm sure there'll be some class action thing out of that. But we need a 9/11 commission to look into what the hell happened there. It destroyed businesses. What the pandemic really did was change routines. What you did before, you're not doing now. And everybody is like going to a bank. I used to go to the bank all the time. I go to drive-up window at least. I knew the personnel. I knew the branch managers. I'd go in there, hello, Andy, hello, Stephanie, and all that sort of thing. You don't see these people anymore. I go to the ATM. Well, during the pandemic, you couldn't go in. So you got into a new routine with the ATMs. You didn't go out to the restaurants. Look at the Coach House in North Bergen. The Coach House was literally printed money. That was an amazing business. Pandemic did it in. Now it changed hands. Now it's an upscale Coach House. I don't know how that's going to work there. Like a pork chop's like $42 now. But all these businesses change. You're seeing businesses fall by the wayside because routines were changed. The economy was changed. We don't even realize all the change that occurred from the pandemic. So that all needs to be investigated. Were the moves and the decisions made during the pandemic, were they the best? Were they informed? Because remember, it was all about following the science. I'm not sure we really followed the science back then. Because as you start looking back, you start seeing a lot of mistakes here. You see a lot of holes. We really need to look into that. And there doesn't seem to be anybody who really wants to look into it. I know Trump was talking about he wants information from the pharmaceutical companies, the data, and it seems to be sitting on that. I would like to see that data. I think we all have the right to see that data and find out what exactly transpired here during that pandemic and have some sort of investigation. You know, a lot of lives were lost, but were they lost from COVID, or they were lost because they had COVID and a bad heart or liver comorbidities, it was called. There were people who were dying in a car accident. They were called a COVID death. They died in a car accident, but they also had COVID at the same time. Maybe not a bad case of COVID, but they had COVID. So that was COVID related. So when Robert Kennedy said he has no idea how many people died from COVID, he's probably telling the truth, because nobody has an idea how many people died from COVID. We probably never will know unless we start investigating it. And I think we have the right to find out, what the real story was with the pandemic. Was it as bad as it was painted to be? Is it the case, again, the media was carrying the water for the Democratic Party, who was in power at that time, and going along whatever the Democratic Party said concerning the COVID? Business was lost, jobs were lost, nest eggs were lost. And did it have to be? Maybe not. But somehow we need to find that out. So, we need some sort of a 9/11 commission there. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're listening to the Shore Show here, Seaside Heights edition, live in Seaside Heights. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
All right, I'm back. Pat O'Melia here. Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition, live in Seaside Heights. Just seen, they got a classic car show. We'll go back over the events now. Down on Bay Boulevard and Grant Avenue. I just seen a 40 or 41 Ford ride by. Now, remember today, starting at noon, not long from now, about an hour or so, probably less than that. What time we got? 1 hour from now, the wine on the beach starts, and that's going to be from noon to 5 p.m. on Grant Avenue. Note here, I tell you, the sun is really shining now, so I really doubt we got a rain issue here, even though I made the moves here to put the set together in the garage because of rain today. Yesterday I was on the boardwalk at the Franklin Street stage. They moved the concert from 3 o'clock to 1 p.m. today because they're worried about the rain. I think they're going to be okay with the rain because now we got real bright sun out there. So wine tasting on the beach, got a concert, 1970s rock. They do a good job with the wine on the beach. They've been doing that for years. I don't know about the music, but I'm sure it's 70s, so it'll be okay. You got the car show, like I mentioned, down on Grant. That's going on till 2 p.m., I think. Like just saying, like a 40 or 41 Ford just rolled by. That's free. Just go down there, check out some of the classics. And tomorrow, you got Grandparents' Day, a VIP party at Lucky Leo's. And they're also going to do the characters. So you bring your grandparents there, you can, make them look like they're fishing or, put them in a classic car, whatever that artist wants to do. And the Casino Pier is also getting in on Grandparents' Day with free Ferris wheel rides from noon to 3 p.m. So there's a lot to do down here in Seaside Heights. Come on down. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about the weather because the weatherman is all the time. But I would come on down. Even if you get caught in the rain, there's a lot you could do. You could just go in the beachcomber until the storm passes by. I was in the beachcomber yesterday. I had 2 slices of pizza, and I had some fried calamari and a large Diet Coke. Got to watch my girlish figure here. Pizza, probably the best pizza on the boardwalk. They did the Biker Bone and the gang there. They just don't get the credit for it. And I mean, these are big pizzas. These are big slices of pizza. So you could just hang out there. You can hang out in JR's or the Casino Pier. There's a lot of places. Well, like I said, you just take a ride down to Route 37, catch a movie, go to the Porch and Buffet, then come back on the boardwalk after the storm's gone. But I'm looking right now. I don't see any storm coming, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. For that matter, Casino Pier, they're in their after summer schedule. The rides are only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now, going into Columbus Day, and then you have to Columbus Day, and they roll up the sidewalks here in Seaside Heights, and it becomes like a ghost town. It's amazing. You go from like a tourist height of about 80,000 people here to like 1,400, and that's even debatable. There were actually 1,400 people down here. I've been down here at night where I'm standing on the deck here looking out on Seaside Heights, and there's like no lights on. I mean, everybody just shut the lights off and they're sitting in the dark? I doubt that. So there aren't many people here. I know Mayor Boz, who just texted me, I don't know what he just texted me there. He's working on bringing Seaside Heights back to what was a 365 community, 24/7, 365. And it was at one time. You go on YouTube, Chris Boz, Tony Boz is the mayor's son. He's the BA here, attorney at law. He's the borough historian. And he did a piece, about a half hour or so piece on Seaside with old pictures and old video and old pictures. And it was actually full community. It was 365, 24/7. They had supermarkets. They had gas stations. They had auto repair shops. They had pharmacies. They had banks. They had everything here. They don't have any of that. They went all in on tourism somewhere coming out of the 50s into the 60s. And, the pharmacies are gone. The supermarkets are gone. Gas stations are gone. Auto repair shops are gone. All that's gone. All those things are gone. You want them, you got to go over the bridge into, it's like we're in here in Hooterville. But they went all in on tourism. Now, what Mayor Bonds is trying to do is turn that clock back. He wants to go back to it being a 24/7, 365 community. He opened an arts gallery up here. That's really drawing people. But there is a renaissance going on in Seaside. And it looks, if you look at the architecture of Seaside Heights, and it looks like every 20 or 30 years there is some sort of a renaissance that occurs here. A lot of the condominiums that you see at one time were motels, and they were converted into condominiums over the last 20 years or so. Right now, there is a boom knocking down the motels. After Columbus Day, I guess, we'll probably lose another 5 motels. That brings us up to like 28 motels in the last 3 or 4 years. Lots of rooms. We've probably lost, 800 rooms rental. And they're knocking down these motels. So they're on big pieces of property. And they're building one-family homes, big one-family homes, townhouses. Kay Hovanian is going to build a huge 135 room hotel with a reception hall and a convention hall, and all these amenities right on the terrace, right off the boardwalk there. They purchased 3 motels that they're going to knock down, and they'll build this huge 135 room complex. Right across from the Beachcomb area, right around there, right around the Beachcomb area. There's 3 other motels that the town is fighting. There's bad actors here. Cloud 9 is one of them. I'll agree with Mayor Boz. There's a problem with Cloud 9. There's also a lot of police activity there. And there's 3 other ones that they are fighting that they want to close. You're going to lose a lot of them, but there's these new one families and these townhouses and these new hotels. Things are changing here in Seaside Heights. And if you were smart enough, like my daughters were, to buy property here 4 or 5 years ago, you really made a great investment. Yeah, the property values here have skyrocketed over here. Yeah, almost like a Jersey City situation, where it took a while for the property values to climb to the extent they are in Jersey City now. My kids have the house on in the Heights, and it's worth about $1.25 million, and it's a nice house. I'll stand outside. We've had it for like 37, 38 years, and I stand there. It's a nice house. Is it really worth this kind of money? But that's what the properties are worth in Jersey City now. Down here, the kids bought the property. It's a 2-family home. 5,000 square feet of land, 2-car garage. You got a shed here. You got an outdoor shower. You couldn't touch this place now for less than $1 million. They didn't pay anything close to that. So Dad made good advice. Buy some property here, but it really was a guy named Joe Ficari, longtime freeholder / commissioner here in Ocean County. He was a guest on the Shore Show television show many, many times, and he was always saying, "Buy property here, buy property in Seaside." And I'm telling you, Pat, the property is going to explode down here. And we actually followed his advice, and sure enough, yeah, you couldn't buy anything down in Seaside Heights now for a $250. But 4 or 5 years ago, everything was $250. When the kids were looking at houses, we looked at 10, 12 houses, and they were all in the $250 range. Nowhere, nothing is like that right now. Some of those houses that we looked in the 200 range are selling on Zillow now for like $900,000. It's amazing what happened here. There is truly a renaissance going on. But yeah, will it ever change? The only thing that will change property values in Seaside is another Sandy blows through. Jersey City, I believe those prices will stay and only continue to climb in Jersey City. But that's one of the problems we have, and it's something that Mikey Sherrill and Jack Citarelli are going to have to answer. How do you make New Jersey affordable without hurting the investments that these families made? Yeah, you bought a house 10 years ago. Now you're sitting on a good chunk of change that you're going to hand down to your children. Now you're going to build a bunch of affordable housing that hurts the value of that property. That's not the way to do things. You've got to come up with another way of handling this. The first thing you need to do in New Jersey is make it affordable. And that right off the bat starts with the property taxes. We don't need to crush mom and pop's investment. We don't need to crush the value of their homes by building more homes. What we need to do is make New Jersey affordable. We have to build affordable housing. Yeah. But who are we building it for? In Jersey City, I've been arguing this for a long, long time. Who are we building for? We're not building for Jersey City people. We're building high rises left and right, and Jersey City people moving in there. Those are people from Brooklyn, New York, Manhattan. They're coming across the water to live here and live a durable existence. But Robert Kavanaugh came up with that. People that move to Jersey City, come through the tube from the path, come up out of the ground, go into their high rise, go to bed, come down, go back into the path, go back over to New York, and go to work. There's a durable existence here. But that's what these communities are now. And somehow we got to figure out how we make them affordable and who are we building the affordable for. Like in Jersey City, we talk about affordable apartments. Yeah, is $3,300 a month affordable? I don't think so. I got a friend of mine looking for an apartment right now. He was texting me yesterday. He found a ruby in the dirt. And he's talking about an apartment for like $1,700 a month, plus another $200 for parking. I'm like, again, born and raised in Jersey City, I remember having an apartment where we spent $35 a month on St. Paul's Avenue or on Gray Street, that sort of thing. It's astonishing the amount of money. I don't know how a young couple can get a house now. You had the dream of the house with the white picket fence. Forget about that. Unless you got $1 million. That's why we were talking about maybe building. There's a big piece of property here the kids have. About building a house here where you build it. You spend like $300,000 to build it, and you could turn around and sell it for $1 million in a minute. I was telling my kids if we did that, it's probably build a 2-family, so to give the people a shot in hell at paying the mortgage. At least they can live in the first or the second floor and get a rent out one of them. I just don't know how you can afford a home, whether it's Seaside Heights or in Jersey City, that's going to cost you $1 million. Now it's like $6,000-$7,000 a month on a mortgage. I don't know how young people do that. So that's one of the questions facing these governors, and I don't believe it's building more. I don't believe it's forcing towns to build affordable housing. What we need to do is make the towns affordable. First thing we have to do is make the states affordable. All those things have to be done. And if we're going to build, who are we building for? If we're going to mandate affordable housing, at least it should be for Jersey people. Like in Jersey City, I've said to many things, we got to have some kind of rule that you got to be in Jersey City for 10 years at least before you get any of our affordable housing. Who are we building this affordable for? Not Jersey people, obviously. At least in Jersey City. We're not building for Jersey City people. Those people are coming over from New York. And they're taking up the affordable housing. And one of the problems we are building so much housing in Jersey City. We're not building any schools to go along with it, at least not public schools. The charter schools are coming up. Just around the Journal Square area. If you haven't been to Jersey City a while, it looks like New York floated over. High rise after high rise after high rise. Most were built on parking lots, so guess what we don't have in Jersey City anymore? Parking is ridiculously tight now because we built on all our parking lots. There's no schools. You look at the Journal Square area. We didn't build any schools up there. You're going to have maybe 10,000 units of housing up there, apartments. Even just half of them have one child. That's 5,000 kids. In Jersey City, that's like, at least 4 schools. We didn't build those 4 schools. So where are those kids going? Now, remember, we got kids in trailers already in the schoolyards. Where are all those kids going? We didn't build any schools. So now, the mayor's got to go to the state and say, you got to build us some schools. We're building Bayfront on the Hackensack River in Jersey City. 35% of that will be affordable housing. Who gets the affordable housing? People from Brooklyn. We didn't build any schools down there. Bayfront's going to be huge. Yeah, that's going to be probably like 10,000 units of housing. No schools. So we're going to have a real school problem. But let's not look at that now. Well, we won't even think about the future. So that's one of the questions for Cheryl and Citarelli. You need to make New Jersey affordable. How do you do that? You're just seeing what happened with the employees, the employees of the state, and really municipalities and county. Their co-pays are going up like 25%. Their benefit package is going to cost them another 30%. That's expenses. Now, those people are paid by tax dollars, so that becomes your tax dollars. So that's another thing Citarelli and Cheryl got to figure out, how are we going to control the insurance costs? I have a problem with that because, I deal with the medical profession. I produce a medical TV show, and all aspects of the medical profession are sharing in the profits. Now, the insurance companies are raking in some bucks. Hospitals are merging because they can't stand alone anymore. So they're either merging up with Hackensack Meridian or they're merging up with RWJ Barnabas. Eventually, you're not going to have a lot of choices here. We just started a new chain, a hospital chain in Jersey City, Hudson Regional Health. They were the old CarePoint hospitals, and along with Hudson Regional Hospital and Secaucus. I wish them well, but they're up against two behemoths to the left and the right of them, Hackensack Meridian and RWJ Barnabas. I have doctors that can't make it on their own anymore because of insurance as a main cost. So they're hooking up with these bigger medical conglomerates. They're becoming employees. It's pretty bad when you can't make a buck as a doctor anymore. You can't make it go. You got pharmacies that are going broke. Except in Jersey City. For some reason, we got a lot of sick people in Jersey City. You go on Central Avenue, we have pharmacy after pharmacy after pharmacy. But you look at what's going on Rite Aid and CVS and Walgreens, there's problems there. For some reason, not all the partners in healthcare in New Jersey are sharing in it. Like I said, the insurance companies are making a tremendous amount of money. Hospitals are having a problem. Doctors, physicians are having a problem. Pharmacies are having a problem. So that's the kind of things that are facing our candidates here. These are the kind of questions have to be asked. And, we're going to do something on the first day, that stops. How are you stopping it? They're both of them saying that. On the first day, stops. Tell me how you're going to make it stop. I want to know how you're making that stop because I got to vote for you. All right, listen, let's break for commercial. You'll listen to the Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition here and live in Seaside Heights on GGR. I'll be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatment. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you. Newport. Live like you want.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
All right, we're back. Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition. Pat O'Melia here, live on GGR. That stands for Good Government Radio. I'm here in Seaside Heights. Can I say the sun is out? I don't know about this rain, but they say so around 6 o'clock. But I'm out of just texting with the mayor of Seaside Heights. He's going down to the car show. He's a big car buff like I am. Then he's going up to the wine tasting. He's Italian, so you know he wants to taste some of that wine. So I told him, listen, next week, why don't you stop whether I am in the on the boardwalk or in the garage, wherever I am. Stop up. We'll do an interview. We're talking about school funding and not building schools. In Jersey City, Sedan Thomas, who was the former Board of Education president in Jersey City and former head of the Jersey City Employment and Training, pled guilty to accepting bribes. He's probably looking at 5 years in jail unless he can turn a few other people in and make a deal. He was in the studio a few times. I produced Hudson County View Live. He was a guest with John Heinous there a couple of times, I believe. I never believed for a minute he was innocent. I didn't ask John because, John's got to be objective there. He's the host of the show. But now he's finally admitted that he took the 30. That's what we got him on. But the feds got him on the 35,000. There's probably a lot of other 35,000s. What he did, he took a bribe to give an attorney a job. Created this. Why did we have a problem with funding in school? They were going to create a job that he was going to be the attorney for land acquisition for the Jersey City Public School Education Department. I don't even know if we have that. How much land are we buying that we're going to hire an attorney? But, like you said in the interview, don't worry about it. Nobody will even question it. There's probably a lot of those type of jobs that nobody's even questioning at the Jersey City Board of Education. That's why we need to look at it. And it's not just Jersey City. I'm sure in every one of those school districts, there's a little bit of that going on. We are New Jersey, by the way. Hudson County gets a reputation, probably well-earned, for corruption, that sort of thing. But I tell you one thing, we may be corrupt, but those persons are always caught. None of them ever got away with it. They all got caught. With the history of Hudson, except for Frank Hague, and I'm not sure Frank Hague was corrupt. He was claimed to be, but he was never convicted or even charged, really. And I can go through Jersey City, walk through Jersey City today and still see the fingerprints of Frank Hague. So if he was stealing, he was sharing, but he was building a lot. He was building schools, hospitals, housing. We can't build that now. Somehow we should have a seance with Frank Hague to find out how the hell he did that so we can do it again. You needed a job back in the 30s and the 40s. Frank Hague gave you a job. You worked for the city, and you worked. You did the job. There was nobody cutting any corners there. There's probably a lot of Sedan Thomases in Board of Education all through the state of New Jersey. There's probably a lot of these jobs that were created. No show, low show, maybe show, who knows? And that's why we need to look at the funding in schools. That is like, it's like number one. I know the electric bills, we need to get into that. The solution to that is generating power. Hopefully we can open some of these plants up that we closed, build some of these nuclear plants. It's the cleanest burning energy. But it probably is the job one is to get into the school funding because it affects so many levels. It's the largest part of your tax bill. It's your children going to school or your neighbor's children. It's just the future of children. Yeah, educating. Yeah, we're cutting back programs. We're cutting back classes. We're cutting back on teachers. That's not the way to go. The money's there. We just need to figure out what we're doing with the money. We got to look at that. We got to find out where we're wasting it. I'm sure we're wasting quite a bit. That has to be looked at. We could probably save some money. We could probably take a dent out of your tax bill. I don't want to put dent in. I want to take a dent out of it. You know what I mean? I want to cut your tax bill. And if we get a handle on the funding, we can do that. That has to be because this guy is going to do 5 years because he took $35,000 to create a job. It's probably a lot of those $35,000 he took. Then they got employment and training. He was writing checks to himself. There's all sorts of stuff like that. That you just got to work out. You got to find out where it is, eliminate it, get the money back into the right part of the education, get more money into your pocket, try to lessen that tax bill. The biggest part of your tax bill is education, school. We got to understand where that money is going. And like I said before, there's something wrong when it's $36,000 or so a year for Jersey City per student, and it's like $18,000 in Toms River. Shouldn't be any difference. Charter schools seem to be doing all right. Why? What's the problem with the public schools? Why are the charter schools doing all right? And they also get public funding, but they do a better job with it. Yeah, Brett Shumler, the former mayor of Jersey City, he's like the charter school mogul in Jersey City. He's got quite a few of them. He's building a high school down on Caveman Point Road on his own. I don't think he's getting any state money on that. So maybe he is, maybe he's not. But I tell you what, if I'm going to invest any money in the school, I'm going with Shumler than I am with the public schools. I know Brett's going to get the job done, and he's going to make sure he uses the money properly, and he gives back to the community. With guys like this who are pocketing money, that's your money. He was spending your money to get money. He was using taxpayer money to pay would be paying this attorney for a made-up job, and he was pocketing the money the attorney was paying him. And I'm sure it's not just Hudson County. But like I said, with Hudson County, anybody who's been corrupt, even if they took a puppy, and that's a true story about taking a puppy, a mayor lost his job for receiving it for a puppy, they got caught. From Whalen to Kenny, all these guys, the bid rig guys back in the, 2000s, 2004, 2009, I think that was. All those guys to jail. They all get caught. Because they're all stupid. That's the other thing. Maybe Frank Hague was just so friggin' smart they couldn't catch him. But again, in Jersey City, well, you won't take many steps before you run across something Frank Hague did. Oh, by the way, with Seaside Heights, it's also, I think I mentioned this before, it is fishing and crabbing you can do down here. You got Sunset Beach. Yeah, we talk about the ocean and the boardwalk. You got the Barnegat Bay on the other side. It's a nice setup, too. You got the gazebos there. You got the little boardwalk set up. You got a Stewart's over there. Actually, I did not go to Stewart's again this year. I had to get there when I had the root beer there. Always liked that when I was a kid. And they got a Stewart's down there. You used to have Stewart's all over the place in the old days. You got Sunset Beach. You can rent some ski doos. You can rent a little fishing boat. You can do some fishing off the piers down there. You can do your crabbing. There's a lot to do in Seaside Heights. You just got to strategize. You got to plan out your day and how it fits your budget. And like I said, in Seaside Heights, fits anybody's budget. You got a lot of money. You got a little money. Seaside Heights fits. It's not an issue. Like I said, a little bit, about a half hour of wine testing on the beach. Wine tasting, what did I say? Testing? Wine tasting on the beach. You got the car show. Don't forget tomorrow. Grandparents' Day in Seaside Heights. Lucky Leo's. Grandparents' Day VIP party, and also we're doing those characters. Also, Casino Pier is in into the Grandparents' Day with free rides. What else I want to plug this to? It's all about Seaside Heights, of course. It's Seaside Heights edition. One of the staples of Seaside Heights, one of the favorite stores down here is the Army-Navy store. And it's all Army surplus. It's a very packed store. I walk through a little, very tight aisle. But there's all the Army, Navy, and police stuff in there. Quality stuff. Jackets, boots. My daughters get the Army boots down here. The jackets, fishing equipment, beach sheds, all high-quality stuff. Every time I'm doing a show, I always forget about the Army-Navy store. Right there on Central and Hamilton, it is a fixture. It is a staple in Seaside Heights. It's been here for as long as I can remember. Seaside, it was crossing my studio. I used to have the studio on Central and Hamilton until property values became so ridiculously high in Seaside Heights that they sold the building. The landlord sold the building for like $1 million plus. Got a new landlord. The first thing he does is get rid of me. I said, listen, I'll leave. So, no fight here. Even though I had a lease. To this day, my old studio space is still empty. It's been like almost 2 years now. So what was the rush getting me out of there? But it saved me money. And from the pandemic, it was getting harder and harder to pay the rent. So it was a help for me. But the Army-Navy store, if you're in Seaside Heights, you just got to stop, at least walk in. You'll buy something if you're in there. You had Army, you had Navy clothes, Army clothes, hats, memorabilia, fishing gear, all that stuff. And it's all high quality. It's all military surplus. Make it a business. Make it your business to stop in there. It's one of my favorite spots in here. One of the problems we do have in Seaside, and I'm going to get into this. I'm going to sit down and talk to Mayor Boz somehow with the radio and my TV capability. Triborough First Aid, the EMT guys, but some with, again, make it educated vote November 4th. In the ridiculousness of Trenton, they cap the amount of money a municipality can donate to a not-for-profit, in this case, an EMT, first responders, Triborough. Seaside Heights, especially during the tourism season, they are a very busy group. For whatever reason, the state capped the amount of money a municipality can donate to these not-for-profits who are performing a function for the municipality. Triborough would handle Seaside Park, Seaside Heights, Ortley, and Lavalette, I believe. And during the summer season, tourism season, that's a lot of calls. Like I said, Seaside Heights comes like 80,000 residents during the tourism season. It's the size of Hoboken. Their police forces, the Triborough, supplies the ambulance service, and also to Seaside Park and Lavalette and Ortley Beach. And all those municipalities would contribute each year. And that made the budget. There were some salary people at the Triborough and some are volunteer. And now they capped it. They have a money problem. So somehow we got to go and try to save Triborough. I'm going to try to talk to RWJ Barnabas Community Medical Center here, which is making some money because that's where they're taking these people to Community Medical Center. And maybe the radio and TV can do something to fundraise. But we definitely got to save Triborough first responders. But again, when you're making that vote on November 4th, here's another reason why you have to make an educated vote. Again, don't do Democrat and Republican. Look at what they're saying. Not only what they're saying, it's how they're going to do it. The hell with what they're saying. Tell me how you're going to do it. And if it doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense. Excuse me. Jersey Line. Jersey Line is back. Jersey Line is a football prediction piece that I do every year. I pick all the games each week against the spread. I've been successful. I've been on the winning side every year, I think. Some more than others. Last night, we had 2 games so far going into Sunday's full slate of game. We had, I lost with Dallas at Philadelphia. Lost that one by 3.5 points. Looked like it was going to be a shootout in the first half. Neither team could stop each other. I think Philly might have a bit of a problem this year because Dallas was going right through Philadelphia. I lost that game, and I won last night with the Chargers versus the Chiefs in Brazil. I had the Chargers +3, so I'm 1-1. But this year, I also have on Jersey Line ChatGPT. ChatGPT is also picking the games. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is 0-2 right now, where I'm 1-1. And the other thing, I'm actually talking to ChatGPT. I made my picks, and now I got to get the AI. AI is cheating. It's changing their own point spread. One was interesting that caught my eye with that straightened him out, and he was very apologetic every time I pointed out his mistake. Denver is giving 7.5 points this week. ChatGPT was taking Denver +1 point. So hey, come on. AI, that's not the spread. You were doing the FanDuel spread. Oh, thank you. My correction. Thank you for correcting me. Hey, thing's cheating, so you got to be careful. But AI versus man, right now, man is up. I'm one game up on him. You go to YouTube or you go to our Twitter, Hudson Media Group, and you can see the jersey line. I'm usually pretty good at this. Usually. The toughest part of the NFL season has become now the first 2-3 weeks or so, because like last night in the KC game, Pat Mahomes, he was like just like a second, he was missing a beat. And the receivers are dropping the ball. That's from not playing your starters in the preseason. That's a problem. And you're trying not, they don't want these guys to get hurt. And there are injuries, it's football. But if you're going to get hurt, you're going to get hurt. So you bring these guys out in their first couple of games, and they're still like in preseason mode. They're still trying to get their timing, getting sync with their teammates, trying to read the defense, trying to get the game to slow down. So what happened last year, I was getting crushed last year. I think the first 3 weeks were horrible. I was losing like 10 games a week. So it took me almost all year to come back from the problems of the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. But I managed to come back. But like I said, go to YouTube or go to our Twitter, and you can see my predictions there. We got a whole new setup, by the way. Garrett Guzman created a whole new setup for Jersey Line. I got to get used to it. My wife didn't like it. Now I'm drinking some Gatorade. I like Gatorade. I like the lime Gatorade. That's the best one. And obviously everybody else likes the lime Gatorade, because when I go to ShopRite, it's usually the one that's out of stock. So you go to Twitter or Jersey Line and check out our new Jersey Line, Twitter or YouTube, and check out the Jersey Line. President Trump is considering taking over the 9/11 museum in New York City at the site of the Twin Towers. It's amazing to think we're coming up on 25 years of 9/11. I can still remember I had to shop in Newark then, trying to get home on 9/11. It took hours and hours and hours because they were closing the roads all over the place. And the horror of what was happening and the devastating total that was starting to come out as the towers fell. 25 years, and for years, for 20, I guess at least 22 years, I hosted a ceremony on 9/11 on Journal Square, where with the 9/11 fountain. Unfortunately, the fountain was removed. There's a huge high-rise being built on that site, and hopefully the mayor brings back the 9/11 fountain somewhere in Jersey City. It's completely taxpayer funded. The fountain fell in a state of disrepair coming out of the 90s. Then the mayor Glenn Cunningham and I got together, and we renovated that fountain. We engraved the names of the 37 Jersey City residents who lost their lives on 9/11. The beautiful fountain. And Glenn got it working, and he dedicated the 9/11 fountain. And then later on, we had the Circle of Honor that encircled the 9/11 fountain. And unfortunately, Progress has removed the circle and the fountain. Hopefully, that comes back. That's one of the things I'll be talking to the mayor full about before he gets out of office in January. Hopefully, I talk to him later on today. We have some issues. But President Trump is talking about taking over, letting the feds take over that 9/11 museum. It's been reported that there are some super high salaries attached to the people working that museum. Yeah, they're constantly strapped for money, but they're depositing some heavy-duty checks. And something as important as the 9/11 museum in New York City at the site of the Twin Towers, you can't have that falling into financial distress. Trump is involved with something every week. It kind of makes you wish back to the days of Biden when you didn't hear from Biden for like a month. Trump is, they're talking about Trump's health. Oh, yeah, he's sick. This guy doesn't stop. He should take a break. He took a weekend off and they thought he died. He took the Labor Day weekend off, played some golf. They thought he died. But I know they were saying that was a body double playing golf. Yeah. Because the guy's on TV constantly. He's constantly having a news conference every day. He's involved in something every day. Good or bad. Do I agree with it all? No. I don't think he shouldn't be involved in. But, we elected him the president, and he's the guy. His campaign said he was going to do this. I think I agree with him with the 9/11 museum, especially when I heard about the kind of salaries that are coming out of there now. And he also has the support of the 9/11 families. So, maybe the feds take that over. probably Fed money in there, probably quite a bit of Fed bucks involved in it. So might as well let the Feds take it over. It's your tax dollars involved in it. But it's amazing, 25 years. That's this Thursday. I swear it's like it was yesterday. I still remember trying to get home from Newark. And I left. Yeah, you don't realize what's happening. You're watching this on my little TV. That TV is on my shelf of old technology in my office. You were just mesmerized. I'd let the crew go. I say, you guys get out of here. I don't know what's going on. So the crew went home, and I was sitting in the office by myself watching this little TV with a 9-inch screen. And I seen the impact into the second tower, and I seen the towers fall, and then other buildings were falling. And it was around 2 o'clock, and I was like, I should get out of here. So I closed down the shop, get my car, and I'm in Newark going to Jersey City. I didn't get home till like 9 o'clock. Everything was stopped. All the roads were blocked. I finally got from Doremus Avenue up onto 1 and 9, and I'm stopped by a Newark cop. And he said, listen, here, can I let you over the bridge? The bridge is open. Yeah, you're just not letting me over the bridge. And I said, listen, I show him my card. I'm doing the Jersey City radio show, Jersey City Talk radio show. And the cop goes, well, you should do a Newark show. Go back. Back on the road again. I finally got the turnpike to Kearney. Down to Kearney, and eventually it's around 8 o'clock. All the traffic's backed up. I'm in North Arlington. I got to go to the bathroom. So I stopped in the bar there. I'm having a beer. And everybody, of course, is watching the TV. What's going on at 9/11. And I had a second beer. And I'm looking at the window, and I don't see any cars out there now. Go out the door. So the road is open. And pay, leave a tip, get my car, I head off. And it was like somebody must have turned the force of the cars. All the cars went. Able to go down Route 7 into the Charlotte Circle, up to the Heights, and off I am home. Took 7 hours to get home from Newark to Jersey City. I remember listening to Mike and the Mad Dog. They were on the radio. They were reporting on 9/11. They're doing a good job, too. They should have got an award for that. Should have got a Marconi for that. What a devastating day. And it was like devastating each day after that. I was broadcasting at studios on West Broadway in New York, right down the street from Twin Towers. I was on NJR 1430 back then, right on West Broadway and Canal Street. After 9/11, you couldn't go through the Holland Tunnel. I was closed. I had to go to Lincoln Tunnel. It was taking us quite a while to get over there to the studio. And you would park, and you'd see the lights of the people trying to recover. At one point, a rescue mission, then eventually a recovery mission. You could see the lights. You could smell everything from 9/11. Hopefully, I didn't get any cancer from that. But it wasn't too far down. It was just, south of Canal Street. And I wasn't too far from that. But I'm not. Back then, I was trying to pay for the shows. Jersey City Talking and Hudson County Talking. It was Mondays and Wednesdays. So I was delivering trailers into New York City for Bed Bath & Beyond to pay for my my show. Nobody would give me a break in radio then. I had to buy my own hours. That's why I don't mind helping these young guys in the studio. I produce shows for them. I don't charge them. I know what it was like to try to break into this business. I don't mind teaching these kids the business, because I knew what it was like when people literally would slam doors in your face and just say, no, we're not interested in you. So I bought my own time on the radio. But I was delivering trailers over there, and military and state troopers were checking the trailers. They'd check me out. After a while, I started to know some of these guys. It wasn't too bad. But they would check my trailer. I'm delivering Bed Bath & Beyond for Westbury Transport. But garbage trucks would be blowing right by. Nobody was checking the garbage truck. I remember telling the guys, you can easily put a bomb in a garbage truck, guys. But how are you going to check a garbage truck? Thing full of garbage. Look at that. You're stopping me. I'm making money by how many trailers I got to bring over here a night. But it's amazing to think. Been 25 years. Astounding. All those lives, and we're still losing lives from the guys that worked the pit, coming to various cancers. Yeah, God rest them all. On a horrible day. It was horrible weeks after. Weeks and weeks going to the studio. We were there two Mondays and Wednesday nights. And seeing the lights from the pit. All that. I know went on for a long time. Remember bringing the bodies down? Horrible. 25 years ago. By the way, next week, I think it's next week on the boardwalk at Semper 5. They have a 5K race on the boardwalk here in Seaside Heights. Funny thing I want to talk to Mayor Boggs about. Maybe we'll broadcast live. Maybe we'll do that next week. But I'm sure there will be some remembrances of 9/11 all over the state. That's probably why we made that like a holiday of some sort here, at least a day of recognition. The kids off from school, that sort of thing. It's amazing how close we were in Jersey City. I remember, before 9/11, I'm going to the studio, and I'd come down a ramp, 139, going into the Holland Tunnel, and there's two huge buildings would be looming. It was really amazing how close we were to it. It would be looming over the Jersey City border there, the coastline. And you never thought twice of these buildings would be gone. For that matter, I remember they were filming the King Kong movie. King Kong going. I seen the King Kong going up the side of the Twin Towers. And who was the guy with the tightrope? The LaPie or something like that? He strung up a tightrope between the two towers and walked it. Beautiful buildings. Even though people said it wasn't beautiful, I always thought they were. And now they're gone. The building that's there, I don't know what that's. Maybe it's nostalgic, but I really like the old Twin Towers. But it's this Thursday, 25 years since that devastating day, 9/11, and of course Flight 93 in Pennsylvania, and of course the Pentagon. What a dark day in American history. Right there with Pearl Harbor. But it's amazing too to see how people sprung out and volunteered their time, getting whatever needs are over to the people working the pit, the water and paper towels. Glenn Cunningham, he rents his soul. Glenn was logistics in Jersey City back then. He was organizing all the trailers, people bringing in water and paper towels and whatever it needs, going over to New York, try to help as best we can. Glenn was like the record, back in his cop days, he was like the record traffic. He was like the logistics guy, making sure everything went smooth. Jersey City played a big role in the rescue efforts in 9/11. Glenn D. Cunningham was forefront. Mayor of Jersey City hat on. I'm making fun of him now, but he was very serious, and we were all very serious then. It was like every day Glenn was, we got to help, do as best as we can. Jersey City Fire Department was over there fighting us. It was amazing to see all the volunteers and how Jersey City, my neighbors all stood up. The Lowe's Theater being a receptacle area for all the donation, donating trailers. And actually didn't donate them, we just didn't get them back. It was something to behold. And then we dedicated the fountain. But I wanted to dedicate the park. What we know as Jersey City as Mosquito Park. I was going to rename it Volunteer Park. I'm talking to Glenn Cunningham. I said, listen, we should change the name of Mosquito Park to Volunteer Park to honor all the volunteers from Jersey City. I go, I don't think I'd do that to Leonard Gordon. I'm looking at Leonard Gordon. Who the hell is Leonard Gordon? Lifelong Jersey City guy. I didn't even know the name of it was Leonard Gordon Park. Remember, we always call it Mosquito Park. Cunningham looks at me and goes, Amelia, you don't really think the name of that park is Mosquito Park, do you? I'm like, yeah. The name of it is Leonard Gordon. Oh, okay. I didn't know we named it after somebody. All right. I have to look up to that. I have to look that up. We didn't name it. But we should have done something for all the volunteers. It was really a real outpour of volunteers during 9/11, especially from Jersey City. I'm sure in other communities. But I was right there with the people of Jersey City, witnessing it. We were reporting about it on the air. It was very patriotic time. Remember Bayonne, too. Bayonne, I think every house in Bayonne had a flag, American flag out. You couldn't go down Bayonne without seeing American flags on everyone's house. Well, what a time it was, patriotism. Yeah, it must have been what it was like after Pearl Harbor. And now, like, the whole country stood together to fight the Nazis and the Japanese. It was all about patriotism, Rosie the Riveter, that sort of thing. Building, B-17s and all. It had to be what it was like. But unfortunately, it didn't last as long. You wish it would last forever, that kind of patriotism. But Bayonne, every house had a flag. you'd look down a whole block of Bayonne. It was all flags in Bayonne. It was incredible to watch. And it wasn't like the City Hall. It wasn't Joe Doria doing this. It was a great mayor, by the way. It was just patriotism at the time. And it was the same thing in Jersey City. It was a lot of patriotism where everybody was happy to stand up and show that red, white, and blue flag, that flag. And it's unfortunate it took a tragedy like that to wake up that sleeping dog, that Toby Keith song. You rattle that cage. Another guy, Toby Keith, is saying that he passed on his stomach cancer. Played the big role. It's one of the things I want to get involved in with tunnels and towers and tunnels. For that matter, I want to see if we can get in touch with them, maybe doing something with the radio, with my high school kids and the program there. And plus, we got a full video studio, so if they want to do any commercials, that sort of thing. But I definitely want to get in touch with those people and see if we can get involved with tunnels to towers. It looks like a very good organization. All right, let's break for commercial. You're listening to the Shore Show, Seaside Heights Edition. I'm Pat O'Melia here on GGR. I'll be right back.
Pinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Pinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
All right, I'm back. Pat Amelia here on GGR, Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition. A couple things, particularly for people in Seaside Heights and Tom's River. Tom's River Car Wash on 166. We got Main Street here in Tom's River. Excellent car wash. When I'm down here, I've been going to the Mod on Fisher to get my cars washed. I have a lot of cars. Way too many cars. Like $30 at the Mod. And they don't do the inside. They don't vacuum it. You can vacuum. They have vacuums outside. You can do it yourself. And they don't do the inside of your windows. And at home in Jersey City, all the car washers do that. So we came across this guy. It was $29 for the works. And I'm like, well, I'll try it. So we go over, just like at home. I mean, you go through, you pick out, everything's $29. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, plus it's $10 off. So it's, you're paying like $21 with the tax. So they did a great job. Car's nice and clean. It's shining. They do the windows. They do the windows good. They vacuum the car. It's full service. Mod, they only do the outside for 30 some odd dollars. Tom's River Car Wash, again, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's $10 off, so you're paying after taxes, with the taxes, $21. Strongly recommend you bring your car there. Not knocking the Mod person, but, I want the windows done. I want the car vacuumed. I don't want to do it myself. I got a hose here. I could wash the cars myself. I actually enjoy washing my own cars, so I can find all the problems with them, all the scratches that you didn't know you had. But my knees at a point where, God, I hope I get these things worked on in the next month or so. Another thing, Bandwagon Restaurant. I just seen a 66 Chevy Chevelle El Camino go by. Not a bad place. Probably diner-wise, it's probably one of the better diners down here. What really bothered me is they have a swipe fee charge. $1.50 if you use your card. It's like going to the gas station if you use your card. And if you use a debit card, you'd think there wouldn't be any swipe fee because it's like cash. Remember when that thing? It was like cash. Thing with the gas station. I said, well, I'm using a debit card. It's like cash. Well, it's not cash. So I don't go to gas stations where they charge me a different price with credit. For that matter, I prefer to use BP. It's a good gas. I forgive them for the oil spillage back about 10 years ago. I won't pay extra for that. I'm not sure I want to pay. I've just seen the Charger go by. I guess these guys are going to the car show. Remember, the car show is ongoing right now until about 2 o'clock. I'm not sure I want to go back to the Bandwagon again. Now, the food is good. The service is good. I'm just not sure I want to give them an extra $1.50. And I'm a good tipper, too. And I hate to see the waitresses suffer for this. But I don't think it's right that I'm paying a swipe fee. If I was charging something for like $7 or $8, I can deal with that. Paying a swipe fee. But, I'm paying $40, $50 for dinner here. You're going to hit me with $1.50? I don't think that's right. All right, let's recap what we got here going in Seaside Heights right now. You got the car show. That's going on till 2 p.m. today. I've just seen a few of the cars go by. That's on Bay Boulevard and Grant. You got, starting in about 1 minute, Wine on the Beach here in Seaside Heights. Remember, they moved up the concert from the 70s Rock Parade from 3 to 1 p.m. So get up there as early as you can. I guess if you want the tickets, you want to be there as early as possible. The Casino Piers and Lucky Leo's, they're both doing Grandparents' Day tomorrow at the Casino Pier from noon to 3 p.m. It's free Ferris wheel rides for your grandparents. At Lucky Leo's, one of the best stands. He's got a few stands on the boardwalk. It's Grandparents' VIP Day party at Lucky Leo's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're doing the characters. They got the artists up there. Remember, next week it's a Cent for 5 K-Race on the boardwalk. Go to exit82.com where you can get all the information on all these events. I'm out of time. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week on the radio. Good night.
Ethic.